partner up front tonight, Raphael Mead, recalled to the side after being substitute in Saturday's FA Cup tie at Middlesbrough. This is the full lineup, with Mead in place of the injured Alan Sunderland and Chris White in the back four as a result of David O'Leary's injury in the first leg. No selection problems, though, for Manchester United. Manager Ron Atkinson names the same side that has been undefeated in its last 10 games. Tonight's referee from Torquay, Mr. Lester Shakhtar. Manchester United kick off, attacking the goal to our right. Arsenal wearing their green and dark blue, which seems to be one of the least popular of train strips, but a nice clear contrast with the United red and white. Woodcock hooking it on for Mead to chase. Pitch hard and slippery. Kevin Moran showing it very plainly then. United have played a number of cup ties this season on bone-hard pitches, and they're not too perturbed about this one, feeling that they may well be equipped to exploit it. Woodcock turning, Petrovic back, and a sliced clearance. Stapleton doesn't get it fully away. Ricks sets it up now for Hollins, and a pick up for Gary Bailey. John Hollins, skipper of Arsenal tonight. Albiston for United. Foul by Hollins. Push in the back on Whiteside. And Whiteside, who started that spectacular spell of scoring by Manchester United at Highbury in the first leg. Robson. Albiston. By Stapleton, but enough Arsenal men there to cover. There's Talbot. Moses. Nobody able to put a foot on the ball. Albiston taking it up to the touchline. Heel by Muren. Albiston's cross and an offside flag against Stapleton. Touch by Muren. Then McQueen lofting one towards Stapleton. Hollins is the Arsenal defender. Laid sensibly into the path of Muren. Trip. John Hollins was the culprit, and Mr. Shakhtar has reached for his notebook. John Hollins, not the most malicious player in the game by a long, long way. Looking for McQueen's head, but too long. It's come to Coppell. Hurling it in with the left foot. Then Muren. And a touch from Stapleton, but just touched it on the half volley to Jennings. Not out by Muren. And then Whiteside shot. Maybe Stapleton didn't even get a touch. Duxbury's header, Arsenal throw. If Arsenal take any notice of statistics, there are a whole lot that actually go against their chances of winning by 3 clear goals here tonight. Perhaps the most telling is that United have had only 6 goals scored against them here at Old Trafford all this season. Here's Talbot. Brian Robson down and in a bad way. He really is in trouble. Referee has spotted him now, and Jimmy McGregor is on to have a look at him. Oh, that's a stretcher job. Well, that is a terrible blow. A player who is so important to Manchester United and to England. And that looks very like a nasty ankle. Ray Wilkins immediately summoned into the fray. Ron Atkinson in the leather coat walking on to have a look at Robson, but he's clearly going to take no further part in this game. I wonder whether we can see once again what happened. That really didn't look anything too serious. But on a difficult pitch like this, accidents happen so easily. David O'Leary, of course, absent from this game tonight, having damaged an ankle in a collision with Remy Moses in the first leg. So play restarts, and that's Woodcock. Now Petrovic. The cross is too deep. Mead kicking it away from Koppel. A sad sight with any player, but a player as good as Brian Robson. That's a terrible blow. A player who early in his career had 3 broken legs when he was with West Bromwich Albion. The only man besides Jennings in the Arsenal half is Hollins. Free kick to Arsenal. Once again, Ricks there in charge with that dynamic left foot. Going for goal. And he called for a good save from Bailey. Graham Ricks, who has scored some valuable goals from dead ball positions for Arsenal, that time foiled by Bailey's dive. Sanson. Talbot. And the clearance by Ulverston was important. And the news, incidentally, about Brian Robson is that he's on his way to hospital and it's feared that he has fractured his right ankle. Duxbury. Koppel. Wilkins. Stapleton turning it back to him well. Murin onside with a lot of space to fire the shot. Fires it wide. Had enough time to steady himself. Sort of situation where perhaps Pat Jennings' reputation gets players to try to place the shot just that bit too precisely. White beaten in the air by Whiteside. Hollins. Albiston. Stapleton. Wilkins. Foul on Stapleton. And it's Hollins who's being called over to Mr. Shapter. John Hollins, who was booked early in the game. Ball played up to Stapleton with Hollins at his back. Came late with the challenge and caught his heel. Sanson. Duxbury. Wilkins. And Coppell and Whiteside. Albiston with Murin going ahead of him outside. Here he is with the ball. Murin's cross. Stapleton coming in. It's a goal kick, although Manchester United were asking for a corner. Crosses that so often produced for Manchester United, not that time. Ball. White. Now it's half-time, and Ron Atkinson heads for the dressing room with everything on course. Just one serious cloud to mar the evening. Brian Robson, so important to this side, in hospital, from where the news comes that he's broken the right leg above the ankle. So the players go in here at Old Trafford with Manchester United still 2 goals clear on aggregate. Here tonight, it's Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0.
We've made it up tonight, and you can read all about it in tomorrow's Daily Mail, along with reports of tonight's game. Ziggy and Ken are reunited.
And it was Ray Wilkins who led the team out in the second half. Football is full of ironies, but I'm sure that Ray wouldn't have wanted to get back into the side in this way. Although now he's here, he's certainly showing that he's got a contribution to make still. Temperature was 36 degrees at kickoff, and the thermometer has dropped a degree or two since then. And the ground bone hard. That's the half-time report from pitch level, confirming the evidence of our eyes in the first half. Offside against Mead. 56,635 people here on a bitterly cold night, a testimony to the attraction still of knockout football. Whiteside. Hollins at his heels. It's gone past Hollins. Stapleton turned on it but couldn't turn enough. Stemming from a good bit of work by Whiteside, who is very nimble for his size. Had Hollins behind him, and then suddenly he was the wrong side of Hollins from Arsenal's point of view. But then Stapleton, turning, couldn't quite swivel enough to get the shot on target. Wilkins, Albiston, then Stapleton. Now Sanson coming away. Allowed to run by Nicholas, and Wilkins couldn't stop himself, already committed, upended Nicholas. Dummy that worked rather too well. This time Mr. Shapter making sure that Arsenal get their full 10 yards. A lot of movement up front for Arsenal, making life difficult for defenders and making it perhaps easy for Nicholas coming in behind to cross. And then White, and that was against the upright. A let-off for Manchester United at the end of a well-worked free kick by Arsenal. The virtue there of players not standing around. There's a lot of movement and a bit of confusion in the Manchester United defence. Now Arsenal come again. Talbot's low cross, cleared by Moore. Now Ricks. And a throw. Well, it was certainly a let-off for Manchester United, as a lot of movement allowed Nicholas a bit of free rein. He plays a good cross, and it's White who jumps at the far post, and the ball bounces off the upright. Raises up to Stapleton. Sanson given a difficult ball. And here's a good break. Koppel, Stapleton and Whiteside. It's 3 against 2. Needed to be played deeper because Whiteside was free, but Koppel can't have known it. Chances evaporated. United retain possession. Linesman flags for the foul. Duxbury didn't want play to be stopped because he was going forward in possession. The referee wanted to have a word with Stuart Robson. Looks very much as though he's taking his name. That's the third caution of the game. Offside, Whiteside. Ricks, Woodcock. Woodcock again. Mead and Petrovic in the middle. The cross deflected for a corner. Talbot driving the corner. Header from Robson. Got good contact. Just under it too much. And Talbot really drives these corners, and it's Robson this time who gets on the end of it. From Wilkins into the path of Alberston. Whiteside felled from behind by White. Talking to from Mr. Shapter, but nothing more. Free kick for Arnold Muren to take. Testing for Jennings, who stays on his line. And back across by McQueen, and this time Jennings comes and makes the catch. Referee calling them back and reaching for his notebook again, and this time it's the name of Remy Moses. Three Arsenal players and now one from United cautioned. And now an Arsenal substitution. John Hollins goes off and Paul Davis comes on. It's a full-back, replaced by a midfield player. Brian Talbot will go to right back. What happened in the first leg when there was a reshuffle and Hollins went into the middle to replace the injured O'Leary. Talbot dropped to full-back then and Davis into midfield. But now it's United on attack. Whiteside, Stapleton outside him, Hollins, Koppel in the middle. but it's a corner off White. Arsenal, who've had to play all game in the knowledge that one from United would really wrap it up beyond all argument. It's a testing one, but Jennings was equal to it. Sanson. Mead. A snapshot from Woodcock, but is all of 6 or 7 yards wide of the post. Whiteside. Talbot. Mead stood the challenge of McQueen the first time, but not the second, and McQueen goes on. First run over the halfway line in the whole game, and once he got into unfamiliar territory, wondered what to do, and Davis robbed him while he was thinking about it. But now it's back with United. Whiteside, clip across to Koppel, on the volley, and that wraps it up. Steve Koppel, who scored twice at Highbury, gets the first of the night at Old Trafford. And once again, it's a first-time shot. No mistake. After Davis loses possession, rather Nicholas loses possession, Whiteside looks up, sees Koppel free, toe under the chip, and Koppel on the volley, just inside the post. So it's 1-0, 17 minutes left, and Arsenal have to score 3 times to take the game into extra time. And those voices leave no doubt that the Manchester United fans are already beginning to think again of that familiar trip to Wembley Stadium. They know the way. Davis. Oh dear, terrible mistake. Whiteside made the angle for himself, sets it up for Stapleton, and then it's cleared off the line by Robson. Awful mistake with the back pass. Sanson just laying it into the path of Whiteside, who takes his time, might have had the angle for himself, sets it up for Stapleton, but Robson is back covering. Now a punch from Jennings. Whiteside. Robson's clearance. McQueen! That was the big boomer, but it was off target. Little wallop with the left foot. Sanson. Good header across by Woodcock, and Mead turns it in to make it 1-1. Well, another late rally from Arsenal, I wonder. Surely it's too late now. Nice flick on, and Mead there to apply the finishing touch. At the moment it's Moses and then Stapleton. Corner kick. Last minute of the game, unless Mr. Shapter is inclined to add on something. But there have been no stoppages in this second half. And a touch from Moran. Almost inadvertently scoring then. I'm not sure whether that was meant as a scoring effort, but a scoring result it was. Kevin Moran's 5th goal of the season seals the night for Manchester United. Ball almost hit him rather than him hitting the ball, but they all count. He won't be complaining.
28 seconds into the second half, the scorer for United is Kevin Moran.
So 2-1 it is now on the night, and it's all over for Arsenal. Just a matter of the final seconds now. Woodcock chasing that in, Bailey coming to make a catch. Difficult, but safely made. Oh, a bit academic now. We had to wait tonight for our goals, but 3 in the final quarter of the game. And it looks now as though Manchester United will win both legs of this semi-final. It's all over. Manchester United have won, and they will go to Wembley looking for a trophy they've never won. Waiting for them there, Liverpool, the 2 top teams in the First Division, in the final of the Milk Cup, and a rehearsal to come here at Old Trafford in the First Division on Saturday.
The damper of the night was, of course, Robson's injury. Then, of course, we had a little bit of, we think we've had some good news, or better news afterwards. First we thought it was broken. Now it would appear it might just be badly sprained.
Do you think he'll be out for the rest of the season now?
If it's a bad sprain, there's a possibility that he could be ready for the final.
How did he do it?
Well, I saw the incident where he challenged for a ball in the air. It seemed as if there was 2 or 3 Arsenal bodies around him, and it seemed as if he came down and twisted on it. That's the impression I got, as he fell awkwardly on it, and maybe the ground was a bit hard, maybe that caused him to.
How did you feel when you saw him being carried off?
Well, I was gutted. You know, on the circumstances of the game, the way they'd set about the game, Arsenal, which I think their pride had been stung from last week, and all of a sudden they made up their mind they were going to try and put some physical about, and we didn't. Brian was the sort of player we needed badly in those conditions.
The conditions were bad. Should the game really have been played in the first place?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that was the referee's decision. Apart from the injury, I'm certainly glad he did, yeah.
Do you regret now not having under-soil heating?
Well, I think there is a cause for it under certain conditions. You know, we're not convinced at this club whether it's right or wrong. I mean, we played at Arsenal last week when the ground was as hard as this, and they've got under-soil heating.
Well, no matter the conditions, you've reached Wembley. How do you feel?
I feel quite, as I say, it was tempered. It was tempered a little bit by what happened with the accident to Robbo, but we're going to have a couple of drinks and then we'll...
Well, the players responded well, didn't they?
Yeah, at half-time, this is what the lads were saying, like Coppell and people like that were sort of saying, hey, the fella in there, let's go and do it for him.
Well, of course, you've spent a lot of money in bringing expensive players here. Now that you have reached Wembley, is the pressure off for you now?
Don't think about pressure, Dan. It's not a thing I think about. Just one little word for you. The team that started that match tonight, I've never heard any media man bring it out yet, and you as an expert would probably bring this out. 7 of those players in the team today cost a combined total of £50,000 or less,
But there was a few there that cost over $1 million each.
There's a few in the other team cost a fair few quid as well.
Ray Wilkins did well when he came on, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a young lad out the reserves. We thought we'd give a chance to. It's not bad, is it? At least if one England captain goes off, you get the next one on.
You've done well in beating Arsenal and reaching Wembley, but of course you've got Liverpool to play in the final.
Yeah, and we're not just going to Wembley for a ride to fulfil a fixture. We're going there